Hey, we're back. We're back in. Now we're going to look at some rhetorical questions. And I'm using these rhetorical questions because these rhetorical questions, and everybody pretty much knows what is meant by a rhetorical question. If not, then it's very easy. Just pause the tape and go look it up on Google, or if you got one of them old-fashioned big dictionaries that we used to have that weigh a ton, you got one of them around the house, holding down something as a paperweight or weight to hold down a broken banister or something. Pick it up, open it up and look for a rhetorical question. You see if you got that kind of artifact around, some antique stuff. Maybe you don't have a phone or something. So open up your little dictionary and get it, or ask somebody what it means. It's a question that doesn't require an answer. The question doesn't require an answer. And we'll give you some of those type of questions. You see, like in chapter 41, verse 33, give just one off the top of my head. It says, who is better in speech than one who calls to Allah, does good, and says, I'm of the Muslims? That's a rhetorical question. You don't have to answer that. You don't answer that. So we're going to give you some of those, and you see if they fit in with your second source material. Is your second source following something as a hadith and sunnah. The first one we're going to look at is chapter 45, verse 6, but we're going to read it from 6 to 11. But verse 6 is our verse, rhetorical question. Look what it says. These are the messages. As a matter of fact, let's start at verse 1. I like to start at verse 1 on this one. Okay. Uh, we'll start at verse 2. The revelation of the book is from Allah, the Mighty, the Wise. The revelation of the book is from who? From Allah, who? The Mighty, the Wise. You see, the Mighty, the Wise. Surely in the heavens and the earth are signs for the believers. In your creation and in the animals he spread abroad are signs for people who are sure. And in the variations of the night and the day, and in the sustenance which Allah sends down from the heavens and gives thereby life to the earth after its death, and in the changing of the winds are signs for people who understand. Now here's our verse. These are the messages of the ayats of Allah, which we recite, rehearsed upon you with truth. In what hadith will they then trust or believe after Allah and His ayats? Now that's a rhetorical question. What hadith will you trust after you have Allah and His ayats? Now, what do you want to say? That's a rhetorical question. It doesn't require any answer, but yet you want to answer. You want to say, well, brother, how do you make salah? How do you make wudu? Because you said this, that it doesn't tell you. So this can't be right. You got to have some second source material. The prophet showed you how to do it. Pray as you see me pray. How'd you get the Quran? Through a chain of narration. How'd you get the Hadith? Through a chain of narration. All these little silly questions they ask you, so you overriding this verse here. What Hadith do you want after Allah and His ayahs? You say we want the ones that explain how to make the wudu. We want the Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, and we want the Sahih Sitta. We want Hadith Qudsi. As a matter of fact, we want Hadith Qudsi, the holy Hadith. That's what we want. And they explain to us. We can't just go by this verse right here. We don't. Our sheikhs told us that we need other signs, other hadith, other materials. We don't go by what this verse says. We read that in our Salah. We read that in our Salah. We read it as a prayer book. We read it, but we don't follow that. We follow, you understand, the Hadith and Sunnah. That's what we follow. We just read this. So Allah says, woe to every sinful liar. Right after that, He comes and gets you. When you want to make that second, well, what hadith, how do you make salah, and how do you do that? Implying that we can't get that from the book. The book doesn't tell us that. Although we just got to telling you, when you rise for Salah, you got the wrong idea of Salah. You think Salah is a ritual prayer, so that's why it doesn't tell you that. You thinking it's a ritual prayer, so you don't find that there. So now you can only find your ritual prayer that you made up in the Hadith books that you made up, which Baba Shuaib called the garbage books. The garbage books. So you're a garbage man. Your profession is a garbage man. You work for the Department of Sanitation. Only thing is you're unsanitized. You're you're unsanitized. You've been you have on you. So now, woe to every sinful liar who hear the messages of Allah recited upon him, then persists in haughtiness as though he had not heard them. As though he had not heard them. He act like he never heard them. So what? Announce to him a painful chastisement. That's all. Make an announcement now. Unannounce to you a painful chastisement. And when he comes to know of our messages, somebody tells you what they are, he takes them for a joke, a jest. For such an abasing chastisement, you take it for a joke. Oh man, come on, please, brother. What are you telling me about the Quran only? You Quranists, Hadith rejectors. What is this? What is this mess? You can't practice your Islam without the Hadith, without the Sunnah. So he takes it for a jest when he hears the messages, told them that the Quran is sufficient. Allah is sufficient to guide. The Quran is sufficient as guide. The Quran, everything is clear. We left nothing out of the book. The whole works that you've heard over and over and over again, yet you take it for a joke, as jest, and you follow that own little mess that you're doing because why? You got the little crowd with you. You're scared somebody's gonna alienate you. You'll be by yourself. So you said, brother, they called me a Cooper. They won't let me come to the mosque and all that. And you don't care that Allah wants you to make that sacrifice and he'll pluck you out, give you his paradise and all that and send them to hell. But you don't care because you rather have this life. The life of this world has deceived you and you don't believe in the hereafter. So you don't do that. So in front of them is hell, and that which they have earned will avail them naught, nor do those who they take for protectors besides the law. And for them is a what? A grievous chastisement. This is guidance. And those who have disbelieved in the messages of their Lord, for them is a painful chastisement. Simple as that. That's a heavy verse. That's a heavy pill to swallow. And yet they swallow it every day like it's nothing. They swallow that pill every day like it's nothing. Oh, brother, what? Why you on that pill? No, we take that pill every day. We ain't paying no mind to that. We follow Hadith and Sunnah. We follow the Hadith and Sunnah. We argue that all day long. We stand and talk Arabic, and you don't know Arabic, and you don't know nothing, and we just blind followers and doing that. There's only a few people who get it right. So there's one. Here's another one. Chapter 10, verse 35. Chapter 10, verse 35. Let's see if you're guilty of this. You people who have the second source. Are you guilty of this? And we'll read it right on down to 38. Well, let's start at 35. Say, is there any of your associate gods who guide to the truth? You see, your associate gods, the people you take as associates to God, the who you make shirk with. Do they guide you to the truth? Say, Allah guides to the truth. Allah mean Allah wahdahu, by himself. Allah guides to the truth. Now Allah asks you, is he then who guides to the truth more worthy to be followed, or he who finds not the way unless he is guided? What is the matter with you and how do you judge? It's like, what the hell's wrong with you? What the hell's wrong with you? How do you judge? Brother, is Is the one who guides to the truth more worthy to be followed, or a person who doesn't know the truth unless he's guided? Which one is better to be followed? What's wrong with you? Can't you figure that out? What the hell's wrong with you? Are you stupid? Are you stupid? And most of them follow naught but conjecture. Surely conjecture will not avail aught against the truth. Truly Allah's know what they do. And this, the Quran, is not such as could be forged by those besides Allah, but is a verification of that which before it and a clear explanation of the book. There's no doubt in it from the Lord of the worlds. Now that those verses have been right there in the book all the time. They're in Arabic. I'm reading it in English. But you said, brother, you don't know Arabic. So let somebody read it to you in Arabic and tell me what you come up differently. What's going to come up differently? If you read it to me in Arabic, you have to translate it to me in English. And then let me see how much your English is going to change from this English. If you read it in Arabic, I don't know Arabic, so you have to tell me in English. You have to tell the world in English. Anybody who doesn't know Arabic, you have to tell them in their language. Chapter 14, verse 4. We sent no messenger but with the language of his people. What? So that they can make the message clear to them. So once you translate it, then you've done just what you accused the person of reading a translation. You translated it. You spoke all the fancy Arabic to scare somebody with, to mesmerize somebody, and then you come back and translate it. Ya ayyuhan-nas taqu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum min nafsin wahida. O you who believe, reverence your God and Lord who created you from a single entity. So you said all that, and then you came back and told me in English. Why don't you just tell me in English and leave all the fancy stuff alone? What are you trying to do? Scare me? You just tell me in English. You could have said two things, two different things, while you said one thing and then said it again in the same thing. Rather repeat after me, ashhadu, and now say it in English, I bear witness. What are you talking about? Some magic words? So there's another one. The prophet didn't know the way uh, because he had to be guided. And that's in chapter 93, verse 7. Chapter 90, verse 3, verse 7. The prophet didn't know the way, so he had to be guided. So he's not worthy to be followed. He's not worthy to be followed because he didn't know the way and he had to be guided. وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى. We found you the law, fahada, and we guided you. We guided you. We found you the law, the law, and we guided you. So you're not qualified to be followed. That's what the law said. You don't like that though. Because why? Because you want to elevate the prophet to a place where you can worship him. You need a second source. You're not happy. Hard on the mushrik, is that what you invite them to? Chapter 47, 40, 42, verse 13. Hard on the mushrik, is that to what you invite them? It's hard on them. They have to have two more things. Here, chapter 41, verse 33. We just talked about that earlier. 41:33. Rhetorical question. And who is better in speech than one who calls to Allah, does good, and says, I am surely of those who submit? Who's better in speech than that? Who's better in speech than that? You got something to say? Well, then call to the way of Allah, invite to the way of Allah, do good deeds, and declare your submission. Not your shahada. Don't declare your bear witness. Declare your submission. Nobody care not about bear witness. You wasn't there to bear witness to nothing. What were you there to bear witness to? You bear witness to Muhammad, the messenger of Allah. You ever met him? You ever seen him? You was there? You know? What do you know? You don't know nothing but what you told. Declare your submission to Allah. Declare that. You haven't done that. How many of you out there have not ever declared your submission? Just ask yourself now. Wow, did I declare my submission or did I take the Shahadatain? Or was I born Muslim? You're not born Muslim. Well, you got a hadith that every child is born Muslim as his mother makes him a Christian Jew or something. You get that mess out of here. You're not born Muslim. You want to quote chapter 30, verse 30, your fitra. Get that out of here. You have to declare your submission if you want to become a Muslim. Declare your submission. Declare your submission. If you haven't done that, then Allah said, don't die unless you're a Muslim. And you will wish that you were a Muslim. And you're being led down the tube with that false shahada, that shahada, which I said was the making of a mushrik. They take you and make you a mushrik right away with that shahada. It's wrong, 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 and nobody can make it right, right, right. It's forever wrong. Nobody can make it right. No sheikh, no grand mufti, no great grand muftis. Nobody can make that right. This is the Quran we're talking about. Yet you don't like that. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. And I know because I was in it. I was in it for all those years, 40 years or something. I did all that. I'm happy and grateful that Allah allowed me to get past that and come to this understanding I got now. And now I'm at His mercy. I'm at His mercy. At His mercy, but I'm going to do everything I can to establish that, correct that wrong in my own life and for my fellow man, the next person I meet, the next person I talk to. Every time I open my mouth, I'm going to take a chance to do that. And this is why I wear this cap with only the truth matters. Only the truth matters. So when somebody see it, what do you mean by truth? What I mean by truth is that which is opposed to error. Anything opposed to error is what matters. That's truth. And the ultimate truth is Allah. He is Al-Haq. So only He matters. And then His word is the truth. Chapter 47, verse 2. That which is revealed to Muhammad, that is Al-Haq. So He sent His messenger with the Deen al-Haq and with the Al-Huda and the Deen al-Haq to make it supersede all other deens. Do the mushriks don't like it? Okay, let's move on. Chapter 6, verse 115. Let's see how that one rides with you. It's another uh, rhetorical question. Doesn't need an answer. But let's see if you're guilty of it. Chapter 6, verse 115. Shall I then? It might be 114 there. Shall I then seek a judge other than Allah when He it is who sent down the book to you, fully explained, fully detailed? And those to whom we have given the book know, they know that it is revealed by Allah with the truth, so be not of the disputers. And the word of thy Lord has been accomplished truly and justly. There's none who can change His words, and He is the hearer, the knower. So, shall I seek a judge for a judgment other than Allah? Shall I go to some Hadith Qudsi, some tafsir, some mufti, some fatwa team of fatwa people? Shall I go to them and seek a judgment on ruling on something other than Allah when He has sent down to you the book fully detailed? Any details you need for anything, it's in the book. If it's not there, then you got nothing to do with it. And if you don't see it, don't go looking for it, pursuing it and all that. Leave it alone. Lost it, leave it alone. You want to get to paradise? Yeah. Well, do what I tell you to do, and then also do what I tell you not to do. Do what I tell you to do, and do what I tell you not to do. Do that also. So, wow, how can I do what He told me not to do? Why would I do what He told me not to do? He told you don't pursue anything which you don't have no knowledge of. Do that. Can you do that? How hard is that? That's hard. Most easiest thing in the world. Leave it alone. Don't ask about things that when you get the knowledge of it, you have a problem. Don't ask. How hard is that? Wow, that's hard. I just gotta know. I gotta ask. Brother, can you tell me, well, what is the inheritance law for so and so? Well, it's this so and so and so. Oh, thank you. I didn't know that. I thought it was this. I thought that. I thought. You don't know nothing. You're asking questions, answering questions. Well, I told you, keep your mouth shut. Don't do that. Everything's in the book. If you don't know, leave it alone. But you don't want to do that. So get ready for the fire. Fire. 18103 to 104. There's some context here. I'm going to pass on some of it. Context. 18103. Say, shall we inform you of the greatest losers in respect of their deeds? Those whose efforts go astray in this world's life and they think that they are making good manufactures. They think they're doing good work. They think they're doing good deeds. Those are they who disbelieve in the messages of their Lord and the meeting with him, so their works are in vain. Are in vain. Nor shall we set up a balance for them on the day of resurrection. So look at that. They think they're doing something good. They took the devil for a friend, and they think that they're rightly guided. So are you guilty of that? Look at all the Muslims that are guilty of that, so-called Muslims. Look at you. You're just guilty of it. And you're just wallowing in it. You don't care. You're making mockery, you're laughing, joking, and all that, and just a minute away from death. And then you'll be sorry. Oh, Allah, send us back. We have heard, we have seen, now we are certain we can do good in that which we neglected before. Now we'll do good. Send us back. Can you send us back? We'll do good. Yeah, we'll send you back. Back to hell. 3936. 3936. 3936. Is it not sufficient for his servant? That is the law not sufficient for his servant? And they seek to frighten thee, what I was just saying, they seek to frighten thee with those besides him. And whomsoever Allah leaves in error, there's no guide for him. And whom Allah guides, there's none that can lead him astray. Is not Allah mighty, the Lord of retribution? They want to frighten you with those besides Allah. Well, brother, look, you don't know where'd you study at? Do you know the Haruf? Do you know the Tashrif? Do you know the seven 12 this? Do you know this that? Do you know, brother, you don't know these things? No, brother. I just simply know the very basic fundamental concepts of the Quran. To associate nothing with the law and do good deeds. I know that. Don't associate nothing, no place, nobody with the law. Don't have no second source materials. Don't say about a law that which you have no knowledge. Don't pursue that which you have no. I know those things. You don't. Yet you have all this sophisticated stuff that you rely on, and it's sophisticated foolishness. It's sophisticated foolishness. You have some plain foolishness, then you have sophisticated foolishness. Yours is upgrade. You have the new model, the sophisticated foolishness. Let's take a look at chapter 6, verse 40. Chapter 6, verse 40. Say, See if the chastisement of Allah overtakes you, or the hour comes to you while you call on others than Allah. If you are truthful, nay, him you call upon, so he removes that for which you pray or you call on him, if he pleases, and you forget what you set up with him. You forget what you set up with him. You forget what we set up with him. Chapter 55, verse 13. Chapter 55, verse 13. Which then of the bounties of your Lord would you deny? Look at that. I mean, we know that goes over and over and over in that verse. Allah speaks about certain things, and he said, which of the bounties of your Lord would you deny? That's a rhetorical question, meaning what? You actually going to deny a bounty of Allah? Which one? Well, I deny the one that says I'm a slave. I deny that one. I'm not a slave. You see, I'm not a slave of Allah. I deny that one. I'm not rejoicing in that bounty and that bargain. I deny that one. Okay, well, seem like you can answer these rhetorical questions that don't require answers. Uh, let's look at 3540. Say, have you seen your associates, which you call upon besides the law? Show me what they have created of the earth, or have they any share in the heavens? Or have we given them a book so that they follow it, a clear argument thereof? Have we given them a book? Nay, the wrongdoers hold out promises one to another only to deceive. One to another only to deceive. Let's read that again. Say, have you seen your associates which you call upon besides the law? Have you seen them? Show me what they have created of the earth. What have they created of the earth? Show me. Or have they any share in the heavens and the earth? So they haven't created nothing, but do they have a share in it? Have they done? Look, brother, I own some real estate property in the heavens and the earth, the universe. I own part of that. I didn't create it, but I own part of the universe. I own part of it. I have a share in it. You have a share in it? Or, or have we given them a book so that they follow a clear argument thereof? You got a book? Did you follow a clear argument? What book you got? Well, brother, we got the Hadith Qudsi. I mean, we got the Sahih Sitta, but if we just narrow it down, we got the Hadith Qudsi. That's the 40 Hadith. I mean, you can't get better than that now. That's a book. Come on, brother. I don't know what Allah's talking about here. Sure, he gave us a book. He gave us the Hadith Qudsi, and we follow it, and we get guidance. Oh, Nay, the wrongdoers hold out promises one to another only to deceive. Only to deceive. That's all. You're just deceiving people. That's all it is. And that's an attribute of Shaitan. You're following Shaitan. You're of the party of Shaitan. Simple as that. 6720. We're almost done. 6720. This is number 10. This is number 10. 6720. Or who is it that will be a host for you to help you against the beneficent? The disbelievers are in naught but delusion. But delusion. Let's read on further. 67, I mean, what did I say? 6720? No, we'll stop right there. I could read on to 26. We'll stop right there. Let's move on to the next one. 2764. 2764. And we'll read 65 also. Or who originates the creation, then reproduces it? Who originates the creation, then reproduces it? And who gives you sustenance from the heavens and the earth? Is there a God with a law? Say, bring your proof if you are truthful. Bring your proof if you speak in the truth. If what you're saying out of your mouth is the truth, then bring your proof. Say, no one in the heavens and the earth knows the unseen but Allah alone, and they know not when they will be raised. No one in the heavens and the earth, heavens and the earth. So if Jesus is in the heavens, then he don't know nothing, and he don't know when he'll be raised. So he must be dead in heaven. He'd have to be dead in heaven. If Jesus is in heaven, he must be dead because he doesn't know anything. He was living at one time on this earth, you say, although some say he wasn't living on the earth. He was just uh, uh, a image of a human being. Be that as it may, then entitled to say whatever you please. But the point is that here they don't know when they'll be raised in the heaven and the earth. They don't know when they'll be raised. The last one, 619, when we did it already, so no need to go back there. We did it already. So now we'll take some questions on this topic here of these rhetorical questions, how they relate to following the Quran alone, following the law alone, no second source material. Anybody can say, no, brother, we got to have the Hadith and Sunnah so that we can know how to make our wudu and make our ritual prayer. We got to know how to pray. You see, if you want to be a Muslim, you got to pray. Pray, pray, pray. Actually, Allah was going to give you 50 salahs every day. So that's all you do is just pray. By the time you finish making one salah, you leave out the masjid, and then they call the adhan and say, oh, damn, I got to go right back. And so you go back, make your wudu because you done fought it since you left there. You fought it when you got outside. And now you got to go make wudu again because you broke your wudu. And now you stand there and wait for everybody to come back in. And then you make that salah again. So now, wow, maybe I can get back to what I was doing. Well, as soon as you get in your car and get the dawn call again, you got to do this 50 times. So you can never get home. But I mean, how long it take you to make 50 salahs, maybe doing 10 minutes at a time with wudu and everything, 10 minutes at a time, 50 salahs. You can't get far. So Muhammad, they met Moses. Moses said, look, go back and tell Allah, you can't do these 50 salahs like that. It wastes too much of your time. You ain't gonna have time to do that. Go back and tell Allah that. Allah told you that for real? Yeah, that's what he told me. No, go back and tell Allah that was wrong. So he goes back with this is how you got your salah. This is how you got your salah, your second source material, your prayer, prayer, prayer. That's all you want to do. You made the Quran a prayer book, a prayer book. So you go back and argue with Allah until you get it down to 5 salahs. And Allah said, look, the guy think he's a slick bargainer. He think he bargained. He think he bargained me out of 50. I'll tell you what, you do the 5, and I'll give you 10 points for each one, and that's 50. So you still got 50. I got you. I got you. I got you. I give you 10 for each one. And then Muhammad was going to say, Moses said, how many you got? 5? Said, go back. You can't do 5 because we do 3. You can't do 5. And Muhammad said, come on, man. I can't keep going back like this. Come on. What do you want me to do? He gave me 5 and said I'll get 10 for each one. So that's 50. So I'll work with that. Jibril, and ride me on back in. So this is the insanity that you want us to believe. It sounds mockery. It sounds like a joke. It ain't worth shit, and I wish I could just say some harder stuff about it. It's just foolishness. And you got people duped. You're just duping people every day, every day. Every day look at my YouTube, new Shahada, new Shahada. Everybody holding up their finger, new Shahada. Little innocent people taking Shahada, taking Shahada. Look, there's Shahada, Shahada, Shahada. Just bamboozling the people, and they want to be God-fearing people. They want to do right and all that, but you got them with that wrong religion because you there collecting money on Juma in your little Sadaqah box, you and your team. You have a team. There's a team of you. You see, it's the imam get the big slice of the money, and then his little henchmen around him, security, and this person and all that, they get a little slice. What do you need? What do you know? Give this man that, and so on, so on. And we got pay the light bill. Yeah. Otherwise, we won't have no lights and they can't come in here. So pay the light bill. Pay the rent for the little storefront that we got. You got to pay the rent on that. And don't forget that I ain't got to worry because the people over somewhere is sending me a little paycheck also for keeping y'all locked down with your ignorance. And I can just give you some of the money out of the Sudoku box. We keep it moving. We're rolling. We're doing good. Every so often, we get together and we paint the place. Everybody come out tomorrow, we're painting. Paint the place up. Say, wow, they're fixing up the masjid. Look at how nice, new carpet and all that. And now go back to collecting money and talking dumb stuff. Just talking dumb stuff. Stuff that can be refuted every day. And they're just preaching that. So anybody got anything to uphold, to say about that, or to reject that, or concur with our findings or anything? Anything? Question time is now. You can speak and say whatever you like. Say whatever you like. Let your voices be heard. Lift every voice and sing. Let your voice be heard. What do you got to say? Of course, ain't nobody, no adversary gonna come over here. They're a bunch of chumps. A bunch of chumps. They're scared to death. They're scared to death. They're not coming over here. They'll sit back and, like I say, comment. You'll see comments and comments. But they ain't coming over here to say nothing. Why? They don't want to get blasted. They don't want to get blasted. Mm-hmm.
Assalamu alaikum, Hamza.
All right, Islam, who's this?
Talib.
Talib, my brother. What's up?
Yeah, as you convey this message and you're putting it out there, my desire, as I think with everybody on here is, as we're listening and we're taking the time to ponder on these things, especially those of us that came through another medium, understanding way early that we were as a part of this so-called party of born Muslims. Those of us that came through that whole Christian upbringing, um, understanding at that time that, or this understanding of Jesus being God or the Son of God wasn't correct. I'm listening to, and I've come across those that believe they were born. And my message is to convey to them to open up their minds and ponder on them being those that were misled when they was being brought up and being able to understand, listen, maybe I need to look outside of what I was told as I was being raised. Because as when we started out, and even when I first met you, being able to go into that Bible that I was brought up on in my early years, and then seeing the message that was in there that contradicted what I was being told in the church. The same thing I would hope for these brothers and sisters to go and look in the Quran and see the contradictions that the Quran is saying opposed to what they were told by their parents, co-parents, the imams, and all the rest of those. So that's my thing. It's my message is hopefully to go out to those that may be sitting up there and saying to themselves, this brother's just off the chain with some other stuff. Say, listen, let me take the time to now look into this Quran that I say I believe in and see if it has the same message that I was told when I was coming up. That's my 2 cents on that, brother.
Very good. Excellent. Appreciate it. Good observation. Appreciate it. And that's what it is. And this is why I always say, and let me clear something else up. Someone called in, I think it was Tariq. Tariq called in Baba Shuaib's program a couple of weeks ago, whenever it was. And Baba Shuaib, I'm not talking about him or anything. I'm just mentioning the incident. He said, look, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to talk. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. And so Tariq began to talk, and there was some apparent disagreement, and the everything got amped up a little bit. And so Shuaib cut the brother off. He cut him off. He wouldn't let him talk any further. So he said, this is one of Hamza's followers. He said, this is one of Hamza's followers. Now that, I didn't understand the need for that. I didn't understand the need for saying, this is one of Hamza's followers. I didn't understand where that was coming from. I said, well, I'm going to man up and fess up, and I'm not going to let that kind of stuff bother me and get at it. But I still thought that, wow, and don't tell me now we got to do this again. I told everybody, and I tell everybody, and Tariq is on right now, that I don't have any followers. Now, am I lying? Are you calling me a liar? Tariq, are you my follower?
No, Hamza, you don't have. I'm not a. You know me. I don't follow anybody but Allah and this Quran. You and I have bumped heads on issues. You don't have any followers, and I wish you would stop saying that. It's just ad hominem now and bordering on slander. Period.
So that's what I didn't understand. Why was the necessity to add on, this is one of Hamza's followers? Does it indict me as well to say, look how silly he is, and then Hamza is teaching him, so Hamza is silly too? I don't know. I don't know what to read into it. The
Exactly what
last
it
time
is.
I read something in it, I was accused of being wrong and jumping the gun and reading into something that wasn't maybe intended. So I kind of let it go. But let me make it clear again. I don't have any followers. Not follow, never, what? Never had any. Never had any followers. I had what I call students at one time when I was teaching comparative religion. I had students. I don't have students now that I deal with the Quran. I have comrades or associates who we study together. We study the Quran. Everybody's independent. They walk away with whatever they feel they understand. We can bicker, differ about it, holler at each other, whatever we do, and then we go about our business and we wait till the next sitting. I don't have any followers. So anybody who says I have a follower, then they're accusing me of lying when I do have followers and I don't. Now, Shuaib, brother Shuaib, he says he has followers. He says he has people who whatever he calls them, they're committed to his program, his channel, or whatever, and so he shouts them out and gives them recognition and all that kind of stuff. And so he has them. That's him. So when I indict his followers, I'm indicting them because they're acting stupid because they won't even tell the brother something when they see that maybe they need to give him some advice. They're so locked into something, whatever they got going on. I know how that goes. Uh, that they won't even say, well, brother, I think you was wrong on this here. You'll follow him. Oh, we just love you, Baba. We love you, lovely, lovely hearts and flowers and all that. There's no problem. There's no problem. But you're not helping that brother if you don't correct him or give him good advice. Or give him good advice. Like when the little brother came on and said the Quran contradicted itself. I didn't say you didn't see nobody call up, bring, yeah, brother, call that brother back. He just said the Quran contradicted itself. You didn't check him? You didn't check him on that? Nobody didn't let you go with that, let you ride with that. You said you would deal with it. You promised to get with it and all that. But I'm gonna get it out, and maybe you'll get him before me. But if not, I'm getting him the next time I come on. I'm getting him good. Even if you do get him, I'm getting him also. He's gonna get got. That's the way that's gonna go down. But my point is that I don't have followers. I'm saying I don't have followers. I don't have no followers. I'm not a leader of nothing. That's me. This program, this Zoom, is the Zoom I'm doing. It's not the Quran study group that we used to have. The Quran study group. This is not that group. This is just Hamza doing a Zoom, and the people that I study with, they invited to come on, and other people, whatever they come on, and that's what it is. I'm responsible for the content of this program. I take the weight of anything I say. Nobody else got nothing to do with it unless they want to associate themselves with it. They're free to do that. But if not, I'm not associating them like, brother, you part of this, so if I go down, you go down with me. No, it's not that kind of thing. If I go down, I go down alone. You see, everybody loves a winner, but when you lose alone. So that's the way this goes. So,
Salam
other comment.
Yeah,
alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, Hamza. This is Brother Shafiq.
Yeah.
Um, no, I can say for sure, if we recorded our sessions that we do in the evenings and stuff like that, just your stance there, you present yourself with no followers at all. We're not followers at all. What we are is a think tank in terms of this Quran. And also, it would actually, and what we did previous to what we got to right now, it would actually prove what is it that verse in 45:7, 45:6 and 7. Woe to every sinful liar who hears the words of Allah, you see, and turn away haughtily, like as if they not heard them. So in chapter 7, verse 3, it says, follow what has been revealed to you from your Lord, and follow not besides him any gardens. Little it is that you mind. So this verse here for me seals that cake, that case where you talk about you have no followers. And this is what everybody who associates with you and the people that associate with you, we're on this. Follow what has been revealed to you from your Lord, and follow not any guardians besides him. So that's what I want to say. I want to make it clear too that I'm not a follower of Hamza Abdul Malik. The Quran alone, Allah alone.
Salam alaikum.
Hi, Salam. Who's this?
This is Brother Sadiq.
Who?
Brother Sadiq, how you doing?
Sadiq.
Hamza.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
brother Sadiq. Yes. Salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Good to hear you, brother.
Uh-huh. You know, I always tell people that there are two types of people. You have those who believe and those who don't believe. You have those who follow the truth and those who are following something else besides the truth. So, it's like listening to certain individuals. When they don't have an answer for the truth, then they'll turn to insult, to rattle the person that they're trying to win an argument with. But they know they can't win an argument against the truth. So they will, they will restore or resolve their losing battle by changing the dynamics of the conversation. Um, for anybody to say that we follow another person when we clearly say that we follow the Quran, right? When we say we follow the Quran, we are saying that we follow Allah. We don't follow no other teachings but Allah. So, yeah, something like that. I would laugh. I'll just laugh at something like that. Somebody saying something like that because it's either they fully don't understand what it is that we're saying when we say we follow the Quran, and the Quran is a message of Allah, solely, and I think also to go along with that, the reason why they don't follow the Quran is because they don't understand what Allah is saying. For real. Look, I came to the Quran later than our brother Tariq and our brother that passed on, Khalid, and even Talib. And I remember cutting Talib's hair, and Talib was asking me questions. And the questions that he was asking me, I couldn't really answer the questions, right? And I said, well, I will look, and I'll see. And then I remember one time I was in the office of the imam, and our late brother Khalid called, and he started asking questions, right? He started asking me questions, and I was on the speaker. I was on the loudspeaker, and he said to me, he said, Sadiq, you're not even a Muslim, you know? And so I said, yeah, what are you talking about? He said, you're not a Muslim. And I'm like, yeah, come on. You did the same thing I did. What are you talking about? He said, yeah, but nah, what I'm saying? I submit. I submit. So what part of what you did, you said that you submit. And the Imam said to me, there are, as far as the school goes, there are like 6 different ways to do your Shahada. And right then and there, I realized that I'm following the wrong thing, right? I'm following the wrong thing. And the reason why I'm following the wrong thing is because Allah says, submit. Don't say you Muslim until you submit.
Mhm.
So how could I be a Muslim? And what I professed didn't have submission, didn't say I submit.
Mhm.
And so then and there, I said, okay, all right, cool. And, Talib, Tariq, and Khalid, they they didn't make it easy on me. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't argue with them. I just looked. I came to the class. We went over um, the ayats in the Quran. And I remember the ayat, you read it again today, where Allah says, what better example there exists beside the Quran? And that was it. And I have seen, Brother Hamza, I've seen you recite that to individuals that's in opposition to the Quran only, and they stuck. They stuck with what they have, what they're still following. So I just think that it's either we're not sincere. I mean, it's either they're not sincere or they don't want to give up whatever it is that they think that they have or have acquired. Not at all.
Well,
Oh, I just want to share that. to say that's what I think. I just think that their understanding is either off, or they of they follow Shaitan and try to come across as though you know they just want to know the truth when the truth
He
has
could.
place in their heart.
I appreciate those remarks, and I'm so happy to hear from you once again
Yeah,
after not having heard from you for a while, and I have to credit you for my having been introduced to Brother Talib. You remember that?
yes, uh-huh.
But
Yeah,
you the one brought him down to the masjid that night when he
yes,
had those shorts on.
yes, uh-huh.
And you brought him into the lion's den.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yes, yes.
And so you set him up, brought him down there, and we took care of him.
Yeah, and and what was so funny? I mean, not even funny, but what was so golden about that,
Yeah.
when we left and we was driving back, he said to me, he said, "Well, I can't argue."
Yeah.
He said, "What was presented, I have no argument for it." And then I think I went on vacation. After a while, I went on vacation before the class ended, and when I came back, he came in the barbershop and he was like, "Assalamu alaikum." And I'm looking at him like, "Walaikum salam." And, he's looking at me like, "Nah, I don't think you understand what I'm saying to you."
Yeah.
You know? Yeah,
Yeah, I'm Muslim.
yeah, And so, and I tell Tariq, I said, "Yo, Tariq, we got to be easy on some of these people, because we once was a part of all that as well.
Yeah.
So, so you know, we can't bash them over the head. But,
Yeah.
that's, I'll leave that up to Brother Hamza and Tariq. Y'all like that fire. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we like to calm down and we take it easy.
Yeah,
We give and we take.
yeah,
We give
yeah.
and we take. And we get smooth, we give smooth, we get hard, we give hard. Simple as that.
Uh-huh.
We make the adjustment, but
Mhm.
uh, the truth is the only thing that matters.
Matters. Yeah.
And of course, your disposition, your attitude, your manner of delivering, your attitude with folks, you have to know how to convey this truth in the best manner. That's
Yes,
what we try to do.
yes, yes. And
Thanks,
you,
again. Good to hear from you.
yes, Tariq, he had text me. I just saw the text. And so I said, let me jump on, you know.
Yeah,
So, normally I'm busy doing something, but, I have to do better.
yeah. So we'll be in touch and we'll talk some more. Hopefully, you can join us some evenings when we have our little conversations for a minute and
Yeah.
and come hang out with us for a minute.
Yes, yes. Inshallah. Definitely, we'll work on doing that.
Yeah, inshallah.
All right.
Good. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to say anything?
Yeah, Salam, Hamza Tariq here.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's good to hear from you, Big. All
Uh,
praise due to Allah, you came on today and participated
yeah.
in the talk today. So Hamza, another great talk that you gave today. Um, and I think what impressed me, not impressed me, but what I appreciated most was your discussion on the rhetorical questions,
yeah,
because they're just so plain that children understand a rhetorical question. I mean, how many times you tell a child, how many times I can tell you to stop doing that? Even a child understands what that means.
yeah,
And they don't question like, oh, I need more details. No, I got to stop doing what I'm doing and do something else. So when you gave like 619 and 45:6, I so appreciate those verses because they really illustrate uh, what a God is beside Allah.
yeah, yeah,
You see, so you worry about, well, am I doing shirk? by taking others beside the law, they show you exactly what a God is. Any authority other than the law, you take it for your legislation, that's an ill now. That's a God now.
Right.
That's clear. This is why I say, people like Schwabe, I know you kind of get on me, but these people, so it reflect for me 31:6, where they say they take lawful hadith to lead astray. And for me, that's not unintentional. That's intentional now. Because once you hear 45:6, 6:19, and you go against that, that's intentional now. There's no, oh, I misunderstood those verses, and that's why I'm following this hadith, why I'm doing this against what the law is telling me not to do. They're clearly into that, you know? And to have that cat sit there, and I didn't care that he cut me off in 5 minutes. I mean, I know he's always going to cut me off. But to sit there and give that boy 25 minutes to spout that near blasphemous, if not blasphemous nonsense, to me was just astounding to do that. That the Quran is contaminated but has no contradictions. So I hope that in the very near future, I think you said it early on in today's discussion, that you're probably going to go take that thing piece by piece and really dismantle that. I hope that'll be soon, because that was just abysmally awful for him to give that guy that kind of room to spout that nonsense, man. It's just stunning. I just kind of want to get that off today, and just in lieu of the verses you quoted with the rhetorical question segment. But all praise to Allah, Hamza. You're a blessing to all of us, and I love you, man. You're a hard worker. You're a brilliant brother. To me, you're the reformer of the age, and I hope Allah blesses you with ongoing life and health and energy to keep on bringing out these lectures to people, that perchance that one person or persons will get this and come into this deen as they should, and get away from that delusion that these people have them under. Thank you, Hamza.
Well, thank you again. And you can rest assured that if my life, if I'm alive and my health as well, the next time we meet, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, uh, whether Shuaib comes back and gets at this brother or not, I intend to get him and strip down everything he said down to the bone, because that was a total blasphemy against Allah and an insult to every Muslim, regardless of, I thought I had heard the worst that I had heard. That was now done superseded just about anything I've ever heard, and to say in the presence of another Muslim, and get away with it. Another young person spouting that kind of nonsense about prophets after the prophet, and his father being a prophet and getting revelations, and the Quran's got contradictions and one thing after the other. That's what he said, a contradiction. Even if he said it has some kind of discrepancy, it didn't say contradiction. It said what was the word? Discrepancy or something, but
Contamination.
contamination, yeah, that amounts to a contradiction. It's the same thing. So we're going to get that. Yeah, we're going to strip down every word he said and bust that up and send it back to him. And hopefully he'll get that and straighten out. And if he doesn't, at least we did our job. We're not letting nobody get away with that. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. So, yeah. So thanks again for those remarks. And of course, we talk just about every day for hours and hours and hours. And sometimes we argue, and sometimes we jump up and flare up and all that. And then somebody has to come and dash some water on the group, and everything smothers. What is it? The flame dash.
Smolders.
Yeah, the flame dashes away, and just a little smoke is left, and then we clear up the ashes, and then we build another fire somewhere else.
Ready for the next day.
Yeah, get ready for the next day. Yeah. So that's the story. Anybody else would like to chime in and say anything before we close out with our nice theme song that our brother Neil Blake made for us? Uh, we want to we'll keep playing that on our uh, on the way out. And we thank him again for that contribution to this effort that we're doing. And we hope that Allah causes his effort to grow and strengthen him in what he endeavors to do, as long as he has the right motive and intention to do the right thing. Anybody else like any comment, anything before we leave? And this information is three sessions, but the first one, be clear on that there's no Muslim prayer. There's no prayer of any sort, shape, form, or fashion for a Muslim to make a prayer, a ritual prayer. The Quran does not talk about ritual praying. We made that clear that this salah is to be established by people in authority once they have rulership in the land and they're acting as a khalifa. They can govern and so forth, and that's how you establish the salah. And the remembrance of Allah is greater than salah. So you remember Allah and you establish the salah, the following closely the dictates of Allah, and this is how you prevent the fahish and munkar and the evils and enjoying justice and one thing after the other. And eventually you'll get it. And I believe that my brother Shuaib, uh, that I believe as a young man, and this is my sincere belief, that some of the things that he and I differ on, I think as time goes on, uh, he will come to see some of those differences. He might be going through something now that you go through. I remember when I was young, 30 something, 40, and I was out there and had a whole different mindset than what I have now. And so as you grow older and you get more calm and relaxed and you ponder and you think, if you are sincere, you'll recognize that, oh, I was wrong about this. I made a mistake about this. Let me walk this back. Let me chalk this up. I'm not going to die with this. I'm not going to care about what people think and all that, what they got to say. I'm cleaning up my act. The hellfire is too big a price to pay. And so I'm not going to die with that. I don't care if I have followers, subscribers, get paid or nothing. I'm not going to sacrifice my eternal soul for some accolades that I get now. I'm not doing
True, true, true indeed. True indeed. It's not worth it. Definitely not worth it.
it. Yeah, not worth it at all. Nowhere near worth it. Worth it didn't show up on the radar.
True indeed. True indeed. There's no comparison. We walk away from that madness, and I think a lot of people don't realize that we walk away from that madness,
Yeah.
compare, things to Allah, and that's what we walk away from. Really and truly, just the Shahada 10, or whatever you want to call it. That's what that is. That's making a comparison.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, and so we walk away from comparing Allah to anything.
Yeah.
My son and I just graduated. I graduated, with my son from college. We both got our
Your
bachelor.
son graduated from college?
Yeah, yeah.
A young man that used to come and hang out with us?
Yes, he'll be back.
What an
Back.
achievement.
Yes, yes. So on the 4th of this month, we walked the stage together. I had promised him that I
That's
would
something.
do it, and I did it with him. And
Beautiful.
one of the things is, like I told him, because he was going to he used to sell water,
Yeah.
and a brother out here used to always talk to him, and a brother like, yeah, yeah, your father is a Muslim. How come you never come to the mosque? He asked my son, So I said, well, my dad never took me over there. And so he's like, yeah, come past. And he's telling him all that stuff. My son came back. I said, hey man, don't follow that. You know what I'm saying? Don't listen to none of that stuff. As
Yeah.
remember what you learned in the classes at Tariq's house, saying, when we were going through the classes. I said, remember that. I said, because you'll be so far ahead of all of us, because you at a young age learning the truth.
Yeah.
I said, man, you got nothing but clear skies in front of you,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
No,
yeah, to combat. So, yeah, but yeah, it's a lot of confusion. So, I tell them, I said, yo, listen, no, you got to get back listening, studying,
yeah.
uh, so that when these people talk to you, when they talk to you, then you show respect. You know what I'm saying? But you could just ask them questions. You can just
Yeah.
ask them questions. You don't have to even tell them. Just ask them questions.
Yeah.
Tie them up. Say tie them up. Then
Yeah.
now they can't say you're being disrespectful because you only ask them questions.
Yeah.
And then if they want to argue with somebody, then we got Tariq, or we got brother Hamza, will be more than willing, what I'm saying, to entertain whatever foolishness that they coming with.
Yeah.
You
That's
know.
right.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I'm certainly very proud of him. I
Yeah.
remember how diligent he
Yeah.
was sitting in the class. I
Yeah.
mean, and just hanging out and chilling out. Very
Yeah.
nice personality.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that he's pushing forward.
Yeah. 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 He's reading the Quran.
Very good.
At first he was reading the Bible, right? Because he was trying to, see what his mother was talking about, and he
Yeah.
would always, repeat what he learned in the class to his mother, and then he just put the Bible down, like, yo, let me study this, and then
Yeah.
he started talking to Tariq, and I then he really put the Bible down once he started talking to Tariq, because Tariq, he don't let you breathe,
Yeah.
Tariq don't let you breathe, so uh, so he will definitely, you know, be active, learning this stuff, and it'll be good if he can even um, learn the Arabic
Yeah.
as well. Just
Yeah. Why not? He's a young man and
yeah,
got his life ahead of him. Whatever life is there, Allah knows best what lies for him. But let him explore. Let him do what he got to do. Let him
yes,
achieve. Let him reach whatever height he
yeah,
feels passionate about. That's on the right side of the law.
yes, yes, true indeed, true indeed. And I'll tell him. I said, "Yeah, brother Hamza was asking about you. He would love that. You know, he'll definitely love that." And I'm gonna say, "Yeah, Uncle Tariq, he's wondering what's going on."
Yeah.
All right,
Hey,
well,
folks, anybody else?
Salam, Hamza. This is Billy again. I just wanted to say thank you for a brilliant presentation today. I just think it was phenomenal. I got a lot of notes out of it. I appreciate you clarifying my earlier question as well. That definitely helped me wrap my head around this argument. And I just think we're all blessed. Everyone on this call, I think we're all blessed that Allah led our lives in a direction where our paths crossed with your path, and we all ended up on this call together today. A lot of people spend their Sundays doing, God only knows what. And I know I've spent my Sundays less well than this for the majority of my life. So to be on calls like this and spend time like this feels like a good thing to do. And I think we're all blessed to be able to do it as well. So all praise due to Allah for that. And I just wanted to say thank you for a phenomenal presentation. And I pray that you continue to do these for a long, long time, Hamza, and that we all join you in the process too, inshallah.
Well, thank you, Billy, again, and I'm so glad that you're associated with this activity. You can get any part of this reward that you want to earn. Allah's reward is unlimited, and his bounty is unlimited. His paradise has no limit, and you can reach whatever height you want. And you can take this situation and raise it to whatever height Allah allows you to do, as long as you're following the truth. The truth must prevail. The truth must prevail. So, okay, without any further ado, if it is nobody else, we're going to sign off with our rap song that we have, and we'll call it a day and look forward to the next meeting. Hopefully, unless something changes, I'll be coming with this other brother first of all, then maybe something else that we can say that is new on the list. We don't want to, beating up on the Sunnis. To me, is like is a waste of time because they've already been beaten to death. But if anybody who says something out of pocket, then you have to go and get them. But other than that, lakun dinakun waliyadin. Let them have what they do, and we have ours. So, without any further ado, we're going to sign off.
The truth matters. I leave the booth in tatters, like the false claims of guidance. We some mad hatters. Bring your evidence, like the Quran states. It's Brother Hamza, and he ain't new to debates. You can use Zoom if you wanna challenge a question, or listen to the presentation and learn a lesson from the Quran. It's fully detailed and complete. Allah blessed us with the best hadith.